Welcome back to Let's Launch. In the last episode, we talked about the Montgolfier brothers' first flight, the Giffard dirigible, and the Wright brothers' first flight. I suggest you check out that episode if you haven't. There will be a link in the description on the upper right and at the end of the video. Anyways, in this episode of this series, we'll talk about the first aircraft carrier takeoff, landing, and the first armed air-to-air takedown. Let's get started. Okay, so first up we have the first takeoff from a ship. This was done on the 14th of November 1910. It was done by Eugene Elly in a Crutus pusher biplane. The biplane had floats attached to it. The ship that Elly took off from was the USS Birmingham, a ship with a 25.3 meter runway, or 83 feet. Even though the runway was around 25 meters, he only had around 17.5 meters or 57 feet to take off. After takeoff, Elly dipped his nose down a little. The reason for him to dip the nose downward was so that he could pick up a little speed. But he miscalculated and hit the water. Lucky for him, his plane was fitted with floats and he didn't sink. Only his goggles got sprayed with water, along with his propeller being damaged a little. He picked back up his speed and continued back toward land. After just 5 minutes in the air, he landed his plane on a nearby beach. The flight was only around 4 kilometers or less than 3 miles. This event happened on the 18th of January 1911, just around 7 years after the first flight of a heavier-than-air aircraft. This was done by Eugene Elly, the same pilot as before. The Albany flyer took off from the Tan Foran flying strip in San Francisco. He flew outward toward the ship, which was around 13 miles out, not going too high above the bay. His first attempt to land on the ship was a failure, and so was his second. But luckily, his third attempt succeeded. When he landed, he was going at around 65 kilometers per hour, or around 40 miles an hour. The ship used in the demonstration was the USS Pennsylvania, which had a wooden landing platform attached to it. The platform was almost 40 meters or 130 feet. Because the airplane they were using didn't have brakes, they used 3 hooks on the plane and 22 ropes laid on the deck. The hook was supposed to catch at least one of the ropes and come to a stop. The hook did, in fact, catch on one of the ropes, but that rope was one of the last ones there. This event happened on the 5th of October 1914. Sergeant Joseph France was flying along with Louis Quinault being his observer. The actual purpose of their mission was reconnaissance. They were flying a Voisin Type 3 biplane equipped with a machine gun when they attacked the German Aviatik. The Aviatik was piloted by Wilhelm Schlitzing, while his observer was Fritz von Sandgen. Sorry if I mispronounced any of those names. Even though they in fact downed the plane, it probably didn't go as you would expect. First, Quinault fired his machine gun at the German aircraft and missed or didn't do enough damage to down it. Then the Voisin being out of machine gun ammunition, the Aviatik fired upon the Voisin with a rifle. In response to this, Quinault fired upon the Aviatik with their rifle. He got a direct shot on the pilot and downed him. Now that the pilot was gone, the plane went out of control and crashed into the ground. Okay, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching this episode. Make sure to subscribe by either clicking above or scrolling down and clicking the red button and the bell icon to not miss the next episode. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like this video. The next video will be on the left side if it has been published yet, and on the right side is the previous part. The full playlist is on the bottom right.